Here we are, Marauders, a 2016 action movie by Stephen C. Miller. He directed it. It's I can't remember which number film he did this is, but he's done 3 flicks with Bruce Willis. And this is the second one I'm watching. First one I watched was what? First Kill with Hayden Christensen. Now this one, which is also written by Michael Cody and Chris Syverson, this one is one of those. All right, if video stores were still around, you would see this on the shelf, and you'd see the actors involved, and you'd be like, I know him, I know him, I know him, I know him, and I know him. I think I'm gonna watch this. This looks pretty damn good. Only to realize that it's kind of bad, but kind of cool at the same time. This movie's got some really cool parts. So, like, I was totally sucking in right at the start. Right, there's this bank heist that's happening, it's getting real violent and shit, and I'm like, oh wow, someone throws. I'm gonna spoil this movie, by the way. All right, sweet. Someone throws this thing on the ground, and I'm like, oh, is this gas gonna come out of there? No, this guy presses buttons on his watch, and then it's like a Google type voice pops out, and the voice is like, lay down on the floor. If you get up, you will be killed, and things like that. And so, you know, they don't have to talk. They've got their faces covered and all that shit, and they rob this bank. I'm like, oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. Where are we going from here? And then you kind of introduced to the cast, and it feels kind of good. You've got Christopher Maloney there. You've got Dave Bautista there. You've got Entourage dude. You know, you've got some really solid actors. The only problem is, I said only problem. Forget that. There's many problems. But the problem with that is this is a movie where they've obviously stacked it up the top. You know, I guess Bruce Willis would count. You know, you got all these named actors, right? To lure people in and get people interested in watching it. Unfortunately, everybody else in the movie is really B grade and bad, like you'd expect out of the last Stephen C. Miller movie I watched, or any movies by Matt Eskin from you know, Survive the Night and Trauma Center and Hard Kill and all that kind of crap. But Marauders, despite having the acting not quite there, apart from the actors that you know, also starts with a really cool story. Like, there's nothing identifying these guys. They've got very few leads. They've got the FBI and the cops mixing it up, trying to fucking, you know, they can't work together, so they got to try to work together and solve this fucking thing, right? Because they keep robbing places. And the robbers are targeting Bruce Willis's character, who's this rich CEO asshole, like he is in Hard Kill. Alright, question. You're getting Bruce Willis. I guess it's hard, isn't it? You're only getting Bruce Willis for 10 minutes. So you can't really put him in roles where he's gun-toting and kicking ass. But you want him for your action movie because everyone knows him from action movies. But then he doesn't really fucking do anything or express anything in his face. And then you're like, well, why did they hire him? And then you know why, because it's fucking Bruce Willis. And that's bullshit. He's just getting hired on his name. Actually, it would be bullshit if he was just getting hired on his name and he was in good movies, but he's getting hired on his name and he's making crap. So, I guess he gets what he deserves. I don't know. He's, out of all the names in it, 10 minutes, bare minimum, not much. Whereas Chris Maloney, Entourage, Dave Bautista, everybody else, they're all in this. They're doing a great job. Got this other guy in it, fucking Texas Battle. This is his 3rd movie with Bruce Willis. They don't interact in this movie, but I'm just like, why is Texas Battle getting all these fucking roles with Bruce Willis? What's going on here? They also try too much. Like, when I see something like this, I'm like, alright, 90 minutes, nothing too clever, heist action movie, lots of shooting, all this kind of stuff. It's not like that at all. It's an hour and 47 minutes, and it tries I think it overreaches big time because they're trying to add all these layers to all the characters, but then the characters that are around these characters are all kind of like really shitty actors. But they're trying to lay too many layers and meaning into this B grade crime flick, like they're trying to make the next fucking Departed or something. It doesn't work. I can see what they're going for, but it just they kind of everything feels kind of half-assed and never fully developed. And that don't even get me started on the plot. I couldn't take notes on it because I didn't want to, and but it starts off fine and simple. Then it starts getting really convoluted and really stupid with really silly twists and turns. So what do you want this to be? You want this to be a twisty and turny crime thriller? You want this to be like a crime thriller slash drama where we get deep into these characters? Or do you want it to be a fun action flick? It doesn't choose any of these. And then there's this guy who crushes my soul. It's Christopher Maloney's character who goes into bars or orders drinks and shit like that. And he just puts the glass of wine in front of him like an arsehole and doesn't even ever fucking drink it. It hurts my brain. I know the character's an alcoholic or whatever, but you can at least fucking, have a fucking... Actually, that's really bad to say. He's an alcoholic. You shouldn't do that. But why are you wasting your money then? That wine could go to someone who really would appreciate it. And you'd save your fucking cash. Like, what are you doing? Is there a dot here? It's driving me nuts. Nope. Just the stain. It's gone now. Video magic. So this movie's a mess. And it's a shame that it's a mess because this is the first one out of all of these kind of B-grade Bruce Willis flicks that I've watched so far. When I'm watching it going, there's some cool shit in here. They just focus on one thing, action heist. Or one thing, crime thriller slash drama. I know that's kind of two things, but you know what I mean. Or, or just pick a freaking tone and stick with it. Because then you get a whole mishmash of B grade, because it's all pretty B grade, with the top actors really trying to elevate it, but there's only so much they can do with a convoluted, crappy plot like this. I will say though, this is the best shitty Bruce Willis movie I've watched since I started watching shitty Bruce Willis movies. Giving it a 5. I didn't think any of these would get a 5 or above. But yeah, it's a 5. And if you're wondering, why aren't I going, let's put the thing on the thing? This goes first. Give me a like, dislike, share, subscribe. Yeah, all that. Awesome. And you know what? That wall's getting a bit full. And if you see that Doctor Who thing just over there, that's going where the things are. So I don't really have room. That, and I think it's a waste of paper. So I'm just going to do this Craig Ferguson style and just